brokerage accounts. We talked about bank accounts. Let's talk about crypto accounts, or better said, digital assets, right? Crypto means dead or encrypt, and all of them except for 8 are going to survive and go into the quantum financial system. We know that as this system is, quote, turned off and it's burned to the ground, nothing's going to come back up for the cloud. Our old computers are being replaced by quantum computers. These platforms, Binance, Uphold, Coinbase, and any other platform. How many platforms are closing down right now? My goodness. If it's not your crypto, if you don't have the keys to control that digital asset, XRP, XLM, etc., it's not yours, people. It's at risk. And I'll give you an example. Uphold. That's where I was at. They turn off the lights. They try to bring back up the balances. And Uphold says, yeah, we've got 2 billion XRP. We've got 1 billion of XLM. And I call them and I say, hey, I want to get a hold of my XRP. And they go, okay, well, we just need you to send us a proof of how much you had and when you bought it. And I go, well, I can't access my account. And they say, right. Well, don't you have a printout of it? Well, no, I didn't. You guys don't issue statements. Yeah, but it's right there. You could make a screenshot anytime you want. You could download it. We let you download all the detail. Did you ever do that? Well, no, you never told me to do that. I mean, come on, people. We've been pacified by the banking system to always believe that they had information. Now, back in 1994, when he told us about this new system, he said that the banks are going to burn down, and you're going to walk in unless you can provide a statement or something to substantiate your balance. They're going to say, yeah, we have money, but we don't know who it belongs to. We didn't lose any money, but we don't know how much is yours versus anybody else's until you prove it. Well, the same thing holds here. But if Uphold says, well, Dave, we don't have a record of your transactions. Nothing came back up when the system came back up. Or the system is still down, Dave. We can't prove how much you had. Well, wait a minute. That's where I have all my tokens. So sorry, Dave. I'm SOL. But guess what I did? I went and got myself one of those little cold wallets called a Ledger Nano, and I took the time to learn how to move it off of Uphold over to the XRPL directly. And since I'm the only one that has those 24 keys that are on that little device, that's my proof that they're mine. None of my XRP is sitting on that little device. Nobody's tokens are on those little devices. Just the keys that prove it's yours, so you can prove it's yours. But see, if it's sitting on a platform like Binance or Uphold or Coinbase or even Lobster, with what's happening, I could never prove it. It would be lost, be gone. It would belong to the platform. They would reap the benefit. See the difference? That's why you want to move. And here's some instructions on how to do it. It's not investment advice. There's probably people that know how to do this a lot better than me. There's videos out there on YouTube. But you just take your time. You do a small amount to verify the transaction comes over and shows up in your ledger live. And then once it does, then you move the rest of it. I think I did 3 transactions and I increased each one of them. And then moved the last bit. And if I got a warning I was trying to move too much, I just made it smaller. And I ended up with, just a little bit of XLM that I couldn't move over just yet, but I can now. But again, I don't want it sitting any place that I can't prove it's mine in the event that all the records are gone or can't be identified. Can you imagine coming into the buyback and they say, okay, because I'm on the buyback committee with the valuation committee with Jimmy Valley and Val Capital. And there's 7 of us on the valuation and like 60 something on the confidential committee. But now we're asking, we're working on that aspect to transfer it. And now somebody says, whoa, wait a minute. I can't prove it. I never moved it through a cold wallet where I had it directly on the XRPL. That's a sad day. Now, I can't reveal what I want to reveal with regards to that. It's pretty fantastic. Maybe I'll talk about it on the XRP portion, which is probably more appropriate. But again, common sense, people. It's like I learned a long time ago not to loan out my stuff. Why? Try to get it back. It's like the moment you loan out stuff to people, they take ownership. And they won't tell you when they're not using it. They'll just keep it. And then when you want it back, it's like trying to pull teeth. Oh, yeah, I'll get it to you. Yeah. I don't know what it is about that. That was never me. It was like, man, if I borrowed somebody's lawnmower, I mowed my lawn, I washed and waxed their lawnmower, I sharpened their blade, I fixed the tires, I did everything, oiled everything on the engine and the cables to make it even better than it was. And they're like, hey, you can borrow my stuff anytime. Like, do you want to borrow my chainsaw? Or, because they knew it was going to come back looking brand new. So again, use common sense, do what you need to do it fast. I got my Ledger Nanos through Best Buy because the Ledger Nanos were being stolen out of the Federal Express mail. And since time is so critical, Best Buy has a policy. They do not resell open boxes, and they get everything directly from Ledger. And through the ones that I purchased and friends, over 50 of them without one problem. Not one problem.